Greetings. The following short video will provide you with a brief overview of Kia's comprehensive testing system, as well as details in the differences between the basic and advanced quiz editors. Creating and adding questions in the basic and advanced quiz editor is the same. They also have some of the same features. However, there are some noticeable benefits that make selecting the advanced quiz worthwhile. Let's take a look at the following slides to find out the difference. As you can see, the basic editor and advanced editor share some of the same features, but the features offered by the advanced quiz editor outlined in the purple box can really make your life easier in the long run. Many of us subscribe to the motto of why reinvent the wheel, and using the advanced editor helps you stick with that motto. When it comes time for midterms and finals, you may find yourself wanting to reuse some of the same questions you used in previous quizzes. If you use the advanced quiz editor, you can simply add those questions by selecting it from your quiz bank. Maybe you want to reuse a question from an earlier quiz after you've addressed students' misconceptions and want to see if they finally mastered the concept. You'll be able to compare the results since Kia keeps all your data in the gradebook. It's also handy because, as we know from year to year, our students are different and they learn differently. Some years you may be able to cover more material than others. Using the questions in the question bank populated by your advanced quizzes, you're able to create a new quiz and add and take away questions as you see fit. It is also great for creating quizzes to meet the individual needs of students without other students knowing, because you can assign quizzes to individual students. So all the students can test on the same day without other students knowing that their peers are taking a modified version of the test. Another thing to note regarding advanced quizzes is if you made an error on a shared question, you can edit that question in one of the quizzes that's used in or in the question bank, and that change will be applied to every quiz where that question appears. So let's get started with our quiz navigation. In order to access the quizzes, simply click on Quizzes from the navigation pane on the left-hand side, and this will direct you to the quiz editor. Any quizzes you've already created are listed in this section. You can also create folders to organize your quizzes as you see here. Select what you want to create, whether it's a basic or advanced quiz. I strongly recommend selecting advanced due to its added benefits. Click on Create New Quiz to begin your quiz creation. Fill out your title and a description here. You can choose to add a description or not, but you must include a title for your quiz. Anytime you see a blue plus sign, it indicates that you can use HTML and LaTeX in that area. Click here to begin adding questions and/or media files to your quiz. Section 3 contains the various quiz settings. If you need help completing this section, just click the help link. For extra added testing security, you can click here to randomize the order of questions. Therefore, each quiz is unique. Select these boxes to display question numbers and point value, respectively, on the quiz screen. If you are teaching a language that uses accent marks, such as Spanish or French, you can opt to display an on-screen keypad on your quiz to make it easier for students to enter these special characters. To do so, simply select the appropriate language from the drop-down list. If you teach a variety of languages, you can select the combined languages, and that way all of the special characters will show up. Select the accent must match exactly checkbox to require students to include the various accent marks in order for the responses to be marked correctly. Remember, you can always go back and give partial credit. If capitalization and punctuation matter, click in the boxes appropriately to indicate that you would like items to be marked wrong. Remember, you can always go back and give partial credit for spelling. I think that punctuation is important, and that as language teachers, we must do all that we can to support our ELA teachers in driving home the point that yes, capital letters, commas, periods at the end of the sentences, and question marks at the end of questions do indeed matter. Don't forget to check Activate HTML or LaTeX box if you used or did any of the following in your quiz. Used HTML tags to make text bold or underline or italicize, or if you embedded video or used any math symbols. Check the box on this quiz to include a link to your profile if you want Kia to add a link to your profile from the quiz. You can also check the box Include a link to this quiz if you want Kia to add a link to this quiz in the quizzes section of your profile page. When you display your quizzes on your profile page, students, parents, and other colleagues can see what you've created. It's always a good idea to preview your quiz, especially if you've used HTML or embedded audio or video. The preview also allows you to see how the quiz would be displayed to students. Once you've completed your quiz, simply click Done. Now that you're done creating the quiz, you will set the settings for your quiz. Kia will provide you with a link to your quiz. It's nice to use the link if you're one of the schools piloting Google Classroom or Canvas. You can add this link to your class page on either of these platforms. In order to receive organized test results, you must assign it to your classes. You will see a list of all your classes here. Simply click on the boxes to assign the quiz to your various classes. Regardless of whether you are using the quiz as an actual quiz or as a classwork assignment, always click on the Login Required so that it will track who accesses your quiz. This will also make the quiz more secure. Enabled makes your quiz available or unavailable. Select Yes to make it available to students. This feature allows students to complete the quiz at a later time. This option is perfect if the quiz is being used as classwork or homework assignment. Presentation style allows you to select if students see all the questions at once or if you want them to appear one at a time. For anonymity, you have three options. Require students' names optional, do not ask for students' names. If you want data attached to a student name, you must select Require students' names. You have four options for feedback. You can provide students with the score, summary, and answers, or score and summary, or score only, or simply no feedback at all. I would not recommend using the first option if students are taking the same quiz in another class period, because then that class has been exposed to the answers and could potentially share them. You can give students 1 to 10 attempts or unlimited attempts on a quiz. This option is great if you are using the quiz as a way to encourage skill mastery. You can give students X amount of attempts to get a specific score. If they do not succeed, supply them with an interactive Kia activity to help them review before making another attempt. Do you want to limit the time students have to take a quiz? This option may come in handy if you have students who don't take computer work seriously. To add an extra layer of security, you can choose a date and time frame that the quiz is available. Yet another layer of security, you can, instead of limiting the date and time, or in addition to using the date and time, add a secret word to be given out to students the day of the quiz. For security, activating this will prevent others from copying your quiz to their account or from printing or copying and pasting it from the web. Even if you've assigned the quiz to multiple classes, you can modify each individual class's settings. Much of these are the same as they were for the general quiz settings, with a few additional options. For the Include and Gradebook, you have three options as to which grade you want to include in the final gradebook. If you gave students more than one attempt, they are first, last, or best attempt. In order to give their own individual secret word, you can type it here. This makes your test more secure by preventing students in other classes from gaining access to the quiz using the overall general secret word. Perhaps the student level settings is one of the best features of all. This allows you to differentiate on a variety of levels. As you can see, the same options are provided for students on an individual level. Maybe a particular student will be taking a different version of the quiz. Simply unselect the student to remove this particular quiz from their account. You can then go and add the quiz that pertains to them, only for them. Maybe you gave timed quizzes, but a particular student with an IEP states that they have unlimited time frame to take a test. This is where you can change that. Perhaps the student takes their test with their special ed teacher. You can create a different secret password or change the date and time access depending on when that student will take the quiz with their teacher. The options are endless. As you can see, Kia's testing system is quite comprehensive. But don't worry if you didn't catch all of that in the overview. The tutorial videos will walk you through step by step on quiz creation. This video was simply to help familiarize you with the system so that it is easier to follow along with the tutorial videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you appreciate the power of Kia to simplify your teaching life.